Hello and welcome to Core with Core. I'm going to take you through a very quick workout today. Today I will be using some weights. I have some 2-pounders right here. If you don't have any weights lying around at your house, that's okay. You can do this without any equipment. But you're going to meet me on all fours facing in one direction. So we'll come up to our knees and we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulders. I'm going to grab onto my weights now that I have them. So making sure those knees are stacked below those hips, those hands are stacked below those shoulders. I'm going to just start with some cat-cows. I want you to arch your spine, looking up, and then round the back, lowering the gaze. And repeat, arching to look, rounding to lower. Last two. And one, you're gonna locate that neutral. You wanna make sure that pelvis is sitting directly on top of those knees. Those hands are down below those shoulders, and we'll get started with the movement. All right, I want you to take your left leg. You're gonna extend it out behind you, as well as your right arm is gonna be extended out in front of you. We're gonna draw the knee in, and then extend everything out. So keep that back flat to start. Draw knee in, straighten everything back out. If holding that weight is too much underneath your hand, you can ditch it on that left side. Just hold on to that weight on that right hand. We'll add our round back on this next one. So you round the spine, tap the knee to the elbow, straighten everything back out. Round and tap, straighten back out. We have 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that back leg. I want you to bend your right arm. That back leg stays straight. We're going to straighten that arm, bend it back, working out that tricep, isolating that tricep here. For 4, 3, 2. On your next one, we're going to add that leg. We're going to bend the leg in, straighten everything back out. Bend leg in, straighten everything back out. Working that hamstring as well as that tricep still. For 3, 2, and 1. We're going to pulse to ceiling, pulsing that foot up as well as that hand up. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that weight, drop that knee, sit back into a child's pose. And then when we're ready, we will come back up to all fours, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we now have the weight in our left hand. We have our right leg extended out. Left arm is extended out. We draw everything in and then straighten out. So trying to keep that back straight for the start. Keeping both hips even down towards that mat. You got it for 3, 2. We're adding round back on your next one. Rounding that spine, pulling everything in, extending everything out, rounding, and extend. Exhale, extend out. Inhale, bend in. For 3, 2, and 1. Extend out. Swing that arm behind you. We add those tricep bends. Straightening and bending that arm. Squeezing through the back part of the upper arm. Working those triceps. On our next one, we'll add that hamstring curl. So we're going to straighten that arm, bend that leg. Bend the arm, straighten the leg. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. You have 3, 2, and we pulse everything to ceiling. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop that knee, drop that weight. Open up those knees, extend out those hips. All right, we will peel ourselves back up to kneeling. We are going to come sitting onto our glutes to get prep for our half roll downs. We are still using those weights if we would like to. Otherwise, feel free to ditch them at any point. I want you to plant your feet down on the mat, sitting up nice and tall. You want to feel those sitting bones directly below you, sitting nice and straight on that spine. And you're just going to find that round spine again. Come back up, holding onto the backs of those thighs to help you here. Try and draw that navel into that spine, as well as lower that rib cage down to those hip bones. For 3, 2, and 1. So if you like that there, I want you to stay there. Otherwise, we're going to extend our arms out, and we're just going to do that same movement without holding the backs of the thighs. Sometimes this can be too much on some people's low backs. If that feels like it is for you, I want you to hold on to the backs of your thighs again. Your goal is to lower down just enough to feel that shake in those abdominals while keeping that round spine. For 3, 2, and 1. Hold in that shaky place. Lower those palms down to the ground. We're going to start some rows. Staying in that shaky place, bending those elbows, bringing those weights to chest. Keep scooping that belly button, as well as lowering that rib cage. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up, straighten out those legs, take that stretch. All right, when we are ready, we'll plant those feet back down. We're gonna hold those arms out straight. We're gonna have the palms facing towards each other. We're gonna find that shaky place, find that round back. Draw those hands to chest, straighten back out, and repeat. You got it. Keep scooping that belly button. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Take that stretch. All right, last part of the row. Palms facing the ceiling. We're going to wheel that pelvis forward. Find that rib to hip connection. Hold in that shaky place. I'm going to add a bicep curl here. So you're going to bend at those arms and then lower back down. Each time you lower, those hands go nice and slow, feeling that tension in those biceps. Maybe you lower down just a little bit more for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten everything out, reach to those feet. All right, we will come back up. We are going to be doing some kneeling arms. I will face you. So being up high on your knees doesn't feel good for you. I want you to take a seat. You can just cross your legs or just sit right down onto your ankles, whatever feels best for you. We're going to start with some back exercises here. So we're going to open up those arms. Nice and long. And we're going to squeeze those weights to touch. And then squeeze those shoulder blades to open back up. Squeeze weights to touch. Open back up. Squeezing our glutes, holding that core in to help with that posture. Go for 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. We're going to open those arms up. I want you to bring them into goalpost arms. We're going to lower them down, lift back to goalpost, lowering down, lift back to goalpost. Thinking about rounding out those shoulders. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in goalpost. We reach up, we lower back down. Exhale, reach up, lower back down. For 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down at your hips. I want those thumbs to be facing towards me. And we're going to shoot those arms nice and high. Lower back down. Exhale, reach up. Lower back down. Squeezing through those back muscles to lift those arms, and then resisting as you slowly drop those arms back down. You got it right here for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. We drop everything back down. We're gonna go into those L's. We're gonna lift up, lower down, switch that L. Trying to keep those arms in line with those shoulders, making sure you're not raising them too high, so that way the shoulders stay in their sockets. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Last 5, 4, last 3, 2, and last 1. Drop those arms, give those shoulders a nice roll, going in the other direction. And we're gonna come back to all fours, just how we started class, but I want you to face a different direction than you started, just to give yourself a full round on your mat. We're gonna start with our right knee. I will mirror you. So we're gonna take one weight, you're gonna tuck it underneath the bend of the knee. And then we're gonna come down to all fours. I'm going to come down to my forearms because it feels better for my spine. If you would like to stay up on your hands, feel free. We're gonna do some glute exercises. Stay on our left knee. Our right knee will come up. We're gonna lift that right knee up, lower back down. Exhale, lift up, squeeze that glute, lower back down. So you really want to make sure your spine is staying straight when you're lifting. You're not arching the back, you're keeping that spine straight and only lifting to find that squeeze in the glute. The foot doesn't need to go up too high. You just want to feel that squeeze in that glute. Take a check, make sure you're weighing into that right forearm just as much as you are on the left, because we are doing single leg work. Go for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Let's hold it to sky. We pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee, come up to that right hand. Left forearm is going to be in line with the top of the mat. We're going to open up that leg for that fire hydrant. Lower back down. We're rounding out that side glute here. Thinking about using that muscle that lies right here on that glute each time we lift that leg up and lower down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keep that neck nice and long. Make sure you're not checking down at those knees. You want to make sure the neck stays long. Maybe look up to the top corner of the mat. We have 4, 3, last 2, and 1. We pulse up an inch and down an inch for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee, reach behind it, grab that weight, open up those knees, connect those ankles, sit back into that child's pose. All right, let's come back up to all fours. We're going to take that weight again, but we're now going to tuck it underneath our left kneecap, finding that bend, finding that stability. Coming down to your forearms or staying up on those hands, we go right into those donkey kicks. We kick that leg up, we lower back down. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, lower. Keep that spine nice and straight, resist any arching. Still pressing down on that left forearm just as much as you are on the right. Go for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. We pulse the ceiling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that knee down. Bring that right arm to come in line with that mat. Come up to that left hand. We open that glute. We lower back down. And repeat, opening that glute. Lower back down. Maybe you put a little bit more weight into that left palm of that hand, so that way your right glute is not feeling it. You're only feeling it in that working glute. Keeping neck nice and long. You got it for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. We pulse the ceiling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee, remove that weight, place those hands out, ankles come together, knees separate, child's pose. All right, we have made it to the final push of class, so we are going to come up to our high plank here. Feet are down, hands and palms are open on that mat. We're going to shoot back into a downward dog, and then lower back down to that plank, and repeat. Come to downward dog, lower back down to the plank. Hold in that plank. We'll now add our arabesque. You're going to kick that leg up nice and tall, connected to the matching elbow. And repeat, kicking nice and tall, connect to matching elbow. Go for 3, 2, and 1. Hold that knee and swipe to side for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee, drop the other knee, child's pose. All right, let's finish off on that other side. We come back onto that high plank. We just go into a downward dog. Find plank again. Downward dog. Find your plank. And then we add that arabesque. We kick that opposite leg out. Bring it into chest, tap that matching elbow. Come back up, tap matching elbow. Last 3, 2, and 1. Swiping side to side for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that knee, lower the other knee, take that child's pose. And then I want you to peel yourself forward, coming to all fours. We're gonna lift one arm up to the ceiling. And then we're gonna thread the needle, feeding it under the other arm. Maybe extend that other arm nice and straight to that opposite end of the mat. Bring that hand back in if you extended it out. Unthread that needle, look up to that ceiling. Lower that hand down. Reach the other side. Looking up, threading that needle. Bring that hand back in. Looking up. And lowering that hand down. Let's take a few cat-cows here to relax that spine. We lower our gaze around that back. Arch that back, lift our gaze. And repeat. And last one, rounding and looking down. Arching and looking up. Find that neutral spine, and you have made it to the end of class. Thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a workout with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.